Okay. Hello, everybody. It's another conversation time with Chigozie George, and I'm happy to welcome you again. So, wherever you're joining, I want to say thank you for being part of the conversation again, as it's always a pleasure to bring you on this conversation and to bring you amazing chats and conversations that you definitely enjoy. One more time, if you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Chigozie George. I'm excited to host you in this conversation today. And I want you to sit back, whether it's good morning where you are, it's afternoon or evening. Sit back with a cup of coffee, sit back with a cup of tea. If you're in Turkey, I'll say sit back with a cup of chai. So wherever you are, it's going to be an amazing conversation today. We're going to be talking, as you always know, fundamental issues that affect our lives, that affect every area of our lives. And as you always know, if you have a question, I'm happy to take your questions. And of course, my guest today is happy to answer all of your questions. So I'm just going to give you a moment. As I always say, I'm excited if you could help me invite somebody, share on every platform. You can follow us on YouTube and share from YouTube. You can share from Facebook. You can share from Instagram. And wherever platform you can share from, we're excited as you participate. I'm going to take a moment and introduce my guest today. I'm just going to say one sentence about him or two, and then I'll give him the opportunity to introduce himself better. So this is this is first for my friend. We've been together for almost 10 years in Turkey, and he's been one person that been consistent with what I've known him with and known him for. So I'm bringing Oyewale Lawal, PhD, and he's gonna be an amazing conversationist with me today. So let me give him a moment to introduce himself. Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever everybody might be listening. My name is Oyewale Lawal. Um, I am a Nigerian, born and bred, and I'm a project manager. And I'm just my usual self. I mean, I'm Nigerian. That's my basic identity, and that covers everything about me, and that says everything about me, and that's it. Basically, I have a bachelor's in chemical engineering, and I have two masters, one in industrial management and information systems, and another one in logistics management. And I also have a PhD in business administration and international marketing. So
Amazing.
that's the education side. I'm a father, amazing husband, and a family man.
Maybe it's your wife that should tell us if you're an amazing husband. Come on, guy. It's your wife that should tell us if you're an amazing husband. I like the fact that you come out with all boldness, and say I'm an amazing husband. I think I need to have a conversation with your wife and ask if you're an amazing husband. But that's for
You know,
later. Anyway.
the only person that can create a measurement for you is yourself. If you can't
Wow.
create a measurement for you, nobody's gonna do that. So just create it for yourself. Then others can put in their input to make it balance. So that's why.
Okay. I already told you it's going to be an amazing conversation today. He said the only person that can create a measurement for you is yourself. The only person that can create a standard for you is yourself. So create the standard with which you can judge yourself, the standard with which you can use to measure yourself. So he's saying by the standards that he have created for himself, the standard that he has created to measure his own actions as a husband, he's saying that he is an amazing husband. I hope every man out there listening to us can beat their heart in the chest and say, I'm a good father, I'm an amazing husband. I hope we all can do that. And also, every wife listening can say to themselves, I'm an amazing wife, I'm a good mother. I hope we all can say that. Let's get into the conversation as fast as we can because we don't have all the time today. Let me start with just like you mentioned, you are very educated, overwhelmingly educated, and that's one of the things I like about you. You've always been studying and studying, and despite your business career, you're always trying to improve yourself academically, and kudos for that. You said yourself you're an amazing husband. I know you're an amazing father. I've seen you spend time with your children, and I've seen how you do your business, and I mean your child. Oh, maybe I'm wishing you more children.
Yeah.
So I've seen you put all of these things together and do it successfully. And my question is, what are the guiding principles that have made you who you are today, that have made you successful in different areas?
Basically, my number one keyword is responsibility.
Mm,
Um, the moment you realize you have some responsibility to yourself, to your family, to your career, to your future, that makes it easy, because the
mhm,
moment you keep it sight on the responsibility, and
mhm,
of course you try to put in a lot of hard work, a lot of
mhm,
determination, a lot of self-confidence,
mhm,
and your end goal is this responsibility, and you eat the and you're trying to eat the responsibility, you'll always be on track. So
mhm,
that's the most important thing. As long as you have in your mind, I want to be responsible. I have
mhm,
responsibility. I should be responsible. That word alone gives all motivation, gives all the energy, gives all
mhm,
the insight to want to make you get wherever you want to go. And responsibility is just it's not just a word everybody just want to say with their mouth.
mhm,
It's a word of action.
mhm,
You have a son growing up. He wants to copy basically everything you do. You
mhm,
understand?
mhm,
So in your mind, you need to keep that word in capital letter. Like, I
mhm,
have to be responsible because I have somebody who is
mhm,
always looking up to me and wants to be like
mhm.
me, who is
Yeah.
copying every action,
Mhm,
every activity I do.
mhm.
So one thing one has to keep in mind in life is just to be responsible.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing how you shape the word. It's the moment you get the idea that I have to be responsible to myself and to people around you, that shapes your actions, that shapes your thoughts, that
Exactly.
determines what you do, that determines how you react to situations, that determines your even that is a motivation for
Yeah.
you to say, I've got to go get my goals because behind me are people who are waiting for me to be successful.
Who are actually
That's
looking up.
they look up to you. They feel like if you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
But then if you can't do it, they say to themselves, I have an excuse, a legitimate excuse to not do it.
Exactly, exactly. And basically, again, there's nothing wrong if you can't do it. But the most important thing is they see your hard work,
Mm-hmm,
they know your goal, which is
mm-hmm,
being responsible, and they see your hard work in the process. But when
mm-hmm,
they don't see your hard work, they don't see in village language we call it, they don't see your workings.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
uh, the moment they don't see your workings, then of course they can come up with their full chest like this guy is irresponsible. But the moment they
mm-hmm,
see your working, even if you have not gotten to the goal, even if you have not gotten to the target, they know you are getting there. there's no
mm-hmm,
it's not a problem not getting, it's not a problem not moving fast, but it's a problem not moving at all.
mm.
The moment they see that there's a motion, it doesn't matter how fast or slow is the motion. As long as the motion is in place, then definitely you'll get to the point you're going.
Wow, wow, that's good. So I'm so enjoying my conversation with you. It's most people don't understand that it's not how fast you move.
No, no.
It's not how fast you run. The most important thing is that you are making progress little by little. As I
Yes.
always tell people, excellence is not a destination, it's a
Mhm.
journey. You just
Yeah,
keep going towards it. And success is not a destination,
yeah,
it's a journey. You keep going. The moment maybe someone's financial goal is, I want to hit $1 million. When you hit $1 million, you suddenly realize, okay, I can do better. Then you move forward again. So it's important that you emphasize and say that the most important thing is that the people who we are responsible to or responsible towards, or the people who look to us, the most important thing is that they can see that we are making tangible steps, tangible progress. We are making effort. I really appreciate them. Now that you have just said that, I want to ask something. How are you intentionally as a father, modeling the character that you want your son to emulate? How intentional are you as a father?
um my scariest moment as a father was the day I discovered my son was actually modeling me.
Hmm.
That was my scariest moment. I think we just finished shower, and I was trying to use my deodorant, and he picked it and wanted to use it immediately after me. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, this guy is actually watching everything I do.
Mhm.
So since then, I realized I need to be the best model for him.
Mhm.
I need to be the best example for him. Why?
Mhm.
Because if he sees me more often than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I'm the best television he can watch.
Mm.
So that spring a lot of things in my head. Like, look, whatever action and decision I want to make, I need to
Mhm.
think about it two times to make
Mhm.
sure I realize, is this something that somebody can emulate? Is this something a child can emulate? Is this something a child can grow with? And
Mhm.
if I realize, okay, there's a problem with this, it's going to be a problem in the future, this is going to be, then I have to remodel my behavior, remodel my thinking, remodel my activity to make
Mhm.
sure. Sometimes I wake up tired and I don't want him to see me tired. Like, come on, it's going to be like, okay, every in the morning, then you could be tired. But because of him, I try to push up, do my regular morning exercise for him to see, okay, at least in the morning, you need to keep some time for exercise and stuff like that.
Mm.
So that moment became a scary moment and a transition moment for me from a bachelor to actually being a real father. You
Mm.
understand? So
Mm.
that's very important because kids learn a lot from the parent and they watch
Mm.
them always to actually shape their lifestyle.
Hmm. That's really good. The thing is, kids just look at their parents and copy. I
Yes.
always tell people that you know coming from the line of educationist, someone who has worked with kids in the field of education for so long, I realize that you don't teach mathematics by telling people.
No.
You teach it by solving problems together with them.
Yes.
They see you doing it, then they want to do it. They follow the pattern you set for them. They follow the system you set for them. Things like that. So I think, and I agree with you, that fathers need to be parents, not just fathers, need to be intentional about the systems and the patterns that they set up for their children because that's what they will follow.
Yes, I think that's why in school while we were studying mathematics, after every mathematical topic, there's always application of that topic. For
Yeah.
example, when we did Pythagoras theorem, we knew, okay, opposite adjacent is gives and the hypotenuse. Come on. Then there's application. So the teacher tells you instead of going through the opposite and adjacent together, you can just walk through the hypotenuse. It's shorter distance. So that's a real application in life,
Mhm.
and that's why my I made sure the first word my son could speak after mentioning, of course, daddy and mommy, it's how to understand the word no. You know, how to understand the word no. The moment he understands, he could say no, then he gets it right. He knows what the right is. When in
Mhm.
the moment he doesn't like anything, even in kindergarten now, it might the moment he doesn't like something, he says no.
He has
So
the boldness to say no.
to say no. He understands the power of no. That's the basic thing I really taught him as a child, learning that from the father. Like the first thing you should learn in life is understanding the power of saying no. So the moment you can say no, then you create a boundary for yourself. You create
Mhm.
a buffer zone for
Mhm.
yourself, just in case of anything. It's applicable everywhere. So
Yeah.
as long as he learns and emulate that, it's going to be useful for his life, career, or life future, or living his best life.
That's good. It seems that when you describe parenting, describe your academic journey and job, it's a lot of work actually. So I want to quickly go into this. How important do you think hard work is to whatever anybody will become in life? How important do you think hard work is?
Hard work is very important. That's compulsory because through hard work you can actually achieve success. You know, and hard work is it's a byproduct of confidence,
Mm-hmm.
your personality. If you really want the hard work or not, and again, uh, looking from where we come from, you understand. Uh, Hard work is mandatory.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you don't work, and again, not completely hard work. Sometimes I think hard work but better smart work.
Yeah. A combination of the two.
A combination of the two, you know. So because I used one of these principles recently, and I was explaining it to somebody, and it was like, okay, yeah, you work smart rather than work hard. Okay, I'm like, okay, you need it too, you understand. So um, looking from where we come from, you just have to be hardworking. If you are
Yeah,
not hardworking, you are out of the line. You
yeah,
understand? Because we have a large population. If you can't do it, somebody else is going to do it. So
true.
what keeps you sustainable is just keep standing. You understand? If you don't keep standing in the line, then you're out. Somebody else is going to do whatever you want. You can offer. So you need to offer whatever you are offering in a very different form. And
Mhm.
what's the form? Showing smart work, showing hard work.
Right.
You understand? So that's it.
It's important that you say something. You said, whatever it is that you think you can do in life, whatever it things you think you can offer, there is somebody else who is willing to offer something better and
Yeah,
even work harder in it.
yeah, yeah.
That's
There
that
is,
is
there is,
the shocking thing people don't understand.
there is. Basically, that's why, because right now I'm in Europe. That's why people don't joke with their work,
Yeah,
because they know the moment you have a laxity in a particular job, but for just few seconds, somebody's
yeah,
replaced you already. You
true,
understand? So
true.
because the entrepreneur who actually owns the job does not care
Hmm.
about how you do it. He just wants the
Yes,
productivity. You
yeah,
understand? So you
yeah.
just want the end result. So you just need to keep pushing your hard work, keep putting your smart work to get a better objectivity. So as
That's
long as you keep doing that, you keep the head high, you keep standing, you keep on the line. You understand? So that's the objective. Keep standing and keep in line. Keep standing and keep in line. That's it.
Wow, that's good. That's good. There's something that I want to go back to. You
Okay.
said that one of the things you're trying to teach your child, the son, is how to say no very early. How important is that to the psychology and emotional well-being of a person? The ability to say no.
Okay. That's the most that's another fact. That's another topic we could a little bit brush. Um Again, looking at where we're coming from, where culture plays a very big role.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine in from where we came from, saying no to an elderly person. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like an absurdity.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand? But in
yeah,
the practical form of it in real life, as a child who is growing up, let's assume there's a female child. You understand? And you're
yeah.
trying to protect the chastity of the female child. Try to make
Mm-hmm.
sure the female child is not molested. Try to make sure
Yes,
the female child is educated and stuff like that. If the female child can say no, this is my right and this is my boundary, then there's a problem. That's why we
yes,
have high cases of crime or female molestation in those areas. You
yes,
understand? But the moment a child says no, looking away from our background, it does not mean disrespect. It just
yes,
means respect me the other way. It's just like a
yes,
mi- it's just like the other side of a mirror. It doesn't mean disrespect like we always think about that, but it means please respect me.
yes.
I have my own boundaries. Please respect me. But as long as I have not said no, that means we are cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment I mention the word no, that means I have a boundary. So that's why the first mentality I try to imbibe in my son is understanding the effect of saying no. You understand? Like,
Mm.
okay, boy, if you find out your teacher in kindergarten is doing something you don't like, just say no. If you observe your friend is taking your toys and after taking your toy in a bully manner, you should say no. If you understand you're given a food you don't like in kindergarten, you should say no. You know? So that way it keeps my parenting work on default. So
Mm.
sometimes even when I'm not there, I'm sure elementarily he has the right and chances to protect himself by
Wow,
saying no.
wow, that's good. So learning to say no protects us. Learning to say
Yes,
no
have
protects
some percentage of protection. Yes,
it protects us from being taken advantage of unnecessarily.
perfect, perfect,
It's just
perfect.
like when people say if you don't know where you're going, then anybody can be your travel partner.
Definitely, definitely. That's
But if
true.
you know where you're going, you will know who to say no to and who to say yes to.
Yes, true. Yes. And surprisingly, my son just started saying yes, but he doesn't say yes. He says okay. You know.
Oh, okay.
So he knows the opposite of no is okay. Okay, this is fine for me. Not yes, but
Okay.
this is fine for me. You
Okay.
understand? So
Okay.
it's a good step. The first thing to understand is a no. He went through the principles of no for almost 1 year, but just recently he just started understanding. Okay, if I like something, I just say okay. You know.
Mhm.
So
Okay, I
that's
think
it.
I want to move forward and talk about something that I'm always keen about
Okay.
discussing when I talk to fellow Nigerians. You know, you are a Muslim, I'm a Christian, and
Hmm.
we've been friends for almost 10 years now. I
Hmm.
don't think I've had I can't remember having a disagreement or a fight or anything. We've done businesses together, we've done stuff together, and I haven't seen us have a back and forth argument. How dangerous, or do you think that religion plays a role to the disunity of the country that we come from, or to the disunity of a people, regardless of wherever they may gather?
Okay. Everybody see religion as a very sensitive topic. They don't want to discuss it.
Hmm.
But it's one of the best topics I love discussing, unfortunately or fortunately. Uh, One thing that's always in my mind, you said you are a Christian, I'm a Muslim. No, that is not correct.
Okay.
I was born to be a Muslim.
Okay.
You were probably born to be a Christian. Majority. Only
Okay.
few people change along the line.
Yeah.
We were born into it. And that is also the principle of what we were saying, explaining before, learning from process, learning from family, learning from parents.
Hmm.
We learned all these practices from our parents. Like, okay, I think this is what my family is inclined to. They are
Hmm.
Muslims, they are Christians. So this is what I am. On growing up and learning from our parents and peer groups shape who we are, shape
Hmm.
which religion we practice.
Hmm.
So, but that does not say who we are. That does not say, the religion does not say how humanly we are.
Hmm.
The fact that somebody's a Christian, somebody's a Muslim does not define how humanly that person is.
Hmm.
So before religion, we have to be who we are first.
Don't you think that religion contributes to who people are to a large extent? Now, as Nigerians, I have seen how religion plays a role in the life of how people think, how people act. That's why I'm thinking, don't you think that religion plays a role in shaping people's ideologies, philosophies, understandings of life?
It's interwoven.
Okay.
Religion plays a role in what people are, and what people are plays a role in what kind of religion they practice.
Okay.
You understand? Let me give an example. For example, I think I have attended quite a couple of your church programs, and it depends on the kind of teaching of my own Islam that I understood.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Some kind of teaching of some Islam might create a border, create a barrier with somebody from the opposite religion. But my
Mm-hmm.
own kind of Islam teaches friendliness. It does
Hmm.
not change. It does not change your religious principle, the religious mentality. I can
Okay.
sit in a church and worship with them, and when I go home, I make my prayers. I know this is where I belong, but
Mm-hmm.
of course, I need to give the respect and right of my neighbor who is from other religions. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Same thing for example, let's look at the principles of the Boko Haram in quote. The principle of the Boko Haram sees the other religion as their enemy, but
Mm-hmm.
that is not the complete Islam.
Hmm.
There are some Christians that will says, "Oh, I'm not eating Eid meat,"
Mm-hmm.
because I think it's unchristianly. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember many times you have asked me, Lawal, when are you giving us your Bayram meat? You understand? You
Yeah.
understand? You understand? You understand the logic? So sometimes the religion shapes you, and sometimes the way you behave that shows me the kind of Christianity you practice.
Mm-hmm.
It shows the kind of Islam I practice. The way
Mhm.
your personality shape the kind of religion you practice. So, and
Mhm.
again, another fundamental thing about this religion thing is who is your teacher?
Mhm.
Your teacher, whatever doctrine your teacher inculcates in your brain,
Mhm.
is that religion you're practicing.
Mhm.
So when people just ask me, now, what kind of Muslims are you? What group of Muslim are you? I don't say
Mhm.
Shia because I don't know the difference until I traveled abroad. I don't say Shia. I don't say Shia. I don't say Sunni. I'm just a Muslim.
Mhm.
So that's the difference. So religion is a very multidimensional topic, and if you don't handle it critically and carefully, there might be some clashes of interest. But the most important thing is what comes before religion and what does the basics of all the religion preaches? Humanity.
Mhm.
If you can be human enough, then you are the most religious.
I want to quickly say something. I'm looking at religion in terms of how much of a tool it has become in the hands of political politicians. Look at where we come from. Do you think that religion has been weaponized? Do you think
Not okay.
it's become a tool to divide and to conquer? What do you think?
Not only religion. You are
Mhm.
100% correct. Not only religion, tribes,
Yeah.
religion, class,
Hmm.
has been politicized,
Yeah.
weaponized. And
Hmm.
the major cause of all this desegregation is poverty.
Hmm.
If there is no poverty, there's no reason why a clergy or an imam will be preaching towards division.
Hmm.
But of course, that is what put food on the table of the clergy.
Hmm.
That's what put food on the table of the imam. So, as long as that put food on their table, then they make their teachings and preachings towards division. You understand?
Hmm.
Um, for example, the last election, um, if you watch the last election very critically before the primaries, I remember Atiku was coming to the south and said, "Okay, let's do one Nigeria. There's Buhari economic problem and blah blah stuff." But he goes to the north
Yeah.
and saying, "This is our government. We have to be there. It doesn't matter the rotation. It doesn't matter the zoning. You understand?
Hmm.
That's ethnic division.
Yeah.
Now let's go to religion. The APC came out with a Muslim ticket, and if you look at it base critically, the Muslim ticket was also another permutation under the APC
Hmm.
because when they are bringing a Tinubu who is a Muslim from the south and coming to the north and bringing a northern minority, a Christian minority, they should just forget about the vote in the north.
Yeah. They're not gonna win.
So it's a better gamble to pick a Muslim minority from the south and a Muslim majority from the north. Then
Hmm.
that makes a Muslim ticket. Is that enough to create a fight between Khan and the APC? It depends on whoever is giving the analysis.
Hmm.
Do you get the point? But obviously, our religion has been balkanized. Our religion and ethnic have been divided to favor the elite, the political elite. So
Hmm.
it is not a function of if this ethnic group or this religion is understood or brought along in the process of things, but no, it is the situation whereby people use all these words, religion, ethnicity, to their own personal interest, to
So
divide and
it
rule.
it's been used for the personal aggrandizement, if I will use that word, personal promotion, personal success, personal political career of politicians.
It's
People
just
don't really
political
care.
mathematics.
I have come to understand that people don't really care. Politicians don't really care the religion you practice. They don't care what faith you are.
Mm,
It only matters to them when it comes to the days of election.
true.
If politicians emphasize who, that's why you see during the times of elections, you see these politicians going to visit several mosques, several churches. It's not like they've never been there for 4 years, but they
Yeah.
just know that if I can appeal to the sentiments of these people, And believe me, it's easier to appeal to the sentiments of people than to appeal to the practicality of people.
Yes.
Easier to appeal to sentiments of people than to appeal to practicalities of people.
And politicians understand that they can get people are more emotional towards the religion side. So when they get your commitment from the religion side, it is
Mhm.
very strong. It is stronger than
Yes.
than when they get it on the ideological side.
Yes.
So that's why they come in through the religion. When they are looking for votes, they are multi-religional.
Mhm.
But when they have gotten the vote, then they are focused on their own particular religion. You
Mhm.
understand? When Tinubu was looking for the vote, he was going everywhere. The minimum gift is 50 million.
Hmm.
The minimum gift is 50 million. When there's a disaster somewhere, it's 50 million. When there's a crisis somewhere, it's 50 million. But the moment he got the vote, all disappointment are towards the southwest.
The thing is, I'm surprised that you are saying it because you are from Southwest.
No, I'm not just from the southwest. You know me. I'm an ardent supporter of Tinubu. So it's but when something is obvious and in a multi-ethnical religion country, and you're not even just thinking it's towards the southwest, it's towards the Lagos politics. You understand? Then we thought Buhari was nepotic, but we didn't know somebody had a pro-mass version of it.
The thing is, like I said, I'm surprised because I know you are a strong supporter of His Excellency President Tinubu. I know you're a strong supporter of him. So I'm surprised that you said that. But then I want to think this over and over and say, what convinces people, or what has convinced His Excellency that such appointments are good? What are we protecting? I was thinking to myself that he has the courage and the boldness to be able to make a balance.
From a little analysis I've gone through, when you are a governor, it's completely different scenario when you're a president.
Hmm.
When you're a president, the protocols leave the window for little associates to come close to you. Just very little. There was a time when Jonathan was the president and he went to Bayelsa and his cousin wanted to say hi to him. The security guys twisted his hand.
Hmm.
That's how close it is for the president, for somebody in the presidency. Now, the people around who have the limited access to the president now are probably his trusted Lagos allies. Do you understand? So people who get something from them are people they have promised something. Those Lagos allies have promised something. So everybody is looking out for their proteges. You
Hmm.
understand? So even people from other tribes, people from other geopolitical zones have to liaise with this small Lagos circle to get whatever they want to get. You
Hmm.
understand? Look, for example, look at how close Wike and Gbajabiamila become. You understand? That shows the level of lobbying. You understand? And as long as your closest ally tells you this is a good one, this is a good one, even if you have your own personal thinking faculty, at least at some point you'll be like, okay, this guy is watching my back.
But
I
do you
cannot see
think
anywhere.
that this is a sort of politics, or this is a sort of idea, or this is the sort of system that we should operate as a country?
No, that is the source of our Nigerian politics. That's our own style of politics.
And
Palliative politics.
do you think that this can lead to the success or to the building of the sort of nation we're looking for?
I don't think so. That's why the previous government is always better than the next one. Do you get it? Now, everybody now is seeing Buhari as a messiah, as bad as his government was. Do you understand? And that's the way it keeps going if you keep maintaining the same cycle. The next government, the Tinubu government would be better than the next one.
Hmm.
You understand? Because we have our own barbaric style of politics, and this is really killing everybody.
Wow. Let me quickly, so that I don't take too much of your time. You see, the thing is, with so much divisions in our country, so much divisions, and we've talked about religion before, and
Yeah.
we've talked about so much divisions in our country. And one of the things that these politicians and these religious sections or sectors do is they tell me that because you're a Muslim, I should not trust you. And then they tell that, see, it's not just my friend who's been my friend for 20 something years told me one of the reasons that he cannot vote for Peter Obi was because he said, I don't trust an Igbo man. And he's been my friend all my life.
Where's he from?
He's from the southwest.
Good. Do you know why?
This sort of division, I'm coming, sir. This
Okay.
sort of division is based on the constant emphasis on don't trust people. I was going to ask, without trust, prosperity and nation building is impossible. How can Nigerians learn to trust, and how can we build a country where we trust each other and advance our country?
To be honest, I think we have a very long way to go. Um, for example, that person said he doesn't trust Peter Obi. I never trusted him too. You know that. Uh, right now, it's hardly for anybody to trust any politician.
Hmm.
When they tell you it's morning, you just need to check outside if it's really morning. You understand? Peter Obi too is also a basic politician.
Hmm.
We are mistaking something in Nigerian politics. We're seeing ourselves like from different parties. But that's not the fight we are fighting. It's not APC fighting PDP or PDP fighting Labour Party. It's the elite class
Versus the
fighting the
average
masses class.
people, the masses, yes.
It's the elite class fighting the mass. Now look at, are you trying to tell me Peter Obi is not collecting pension from Anambra? Are you trying to tell me all Labour Party rejected the SUVs that the
At
National Assembly?
least I on not in defense of P2B. I do not know him much. I
Yes,
don't know.
yes, I
I don't
get
owe,
your point.
I
I
don't
get
owe
your
him
point.
any allegiances. But
Yes,
from what
yes.
he said he doesn't take any pension from the government house
Okay.
from his past government. So I do not know him, but that's
Yeah.
just what I have heard him say. What I've heard people say about him.
Yeah.
But
I
this is
mean,
not in defense of him. I'm
yes,
just
I know.
trying to say trust is vital for success. How
It's
can people, either on individual basis, how can people learn to build trust? And then from individual basis, how can a nation learn to build trust?
when we talked about religion the other time, it's more important for us to be humanly first than to be religious.
Hmm.
You see, Tinubu went to a Hajj. It does not make Tinubu a
A
special
godly
person.
person, no.
You understand? All the governors goes to Hajj when it's time for Umrah. You understand?
Hmm.
But that's not that. But when they come back, that does not reflect in their practice and in their behavior.
Hmm.
You understand?
Hmm.
Because they don't have human feelings. Look at how much they pay in as minimum wage. It doesn't show. That doesn't show the heart of somebody who is just coming from Hajj. You understand?
Hmm.
So we need to first learn to be human first
Yes.
before being religious, then we, and again another thing, until the day when our political offices becomes a part-time office,
Hmm.
we will never get it right,
Hmm.
because they see this as the most lucrative job in the world. There was a time when the oil company was the best job in ever. You understand? But right now the best job ever is politics.
Hmm.
As a legislator, you don't even need to attend sittings. You see how empty the Arlo chamber looks when it's being televised. You understand? But what do they, that does that stop their allowances? Obviously no. You understand? So the day we learn to love ourselves like humans, the day we become a better person. You understand? And until then, when we make our politics a part-time job, then everybody will focus on their businesses.
I think I totally agree with you that for a country like ours and many other countries around the world who are referred as developing nations, I think one of the things that people need to do is try to find a way to make politics, like you said, a part-time stuff. not a full-time job, and don't make it very lucrative. Don't
Yeah.
make it something that is very appealing. Let it be service oriented, where people know that, okay, even though I'm in politics, there's no money in it. But there, I think that in the politics of so many developing countries and a country like ours, Nigeria, there is just too much money in politics, and everybody will do just about anything to get into it.
When you were coming up with that build up, I started smiling. You know, why did I smile? Because I reflected on who a typical Nigerian politician is. You know, a typical Nigerian politician can squeeze money out of rock. You know,
Hmm.
and I was trying to think, even if politics goes part time, all politicians will become contractors automatically.
Yeah,
They move over to being a contractor. You understand? But the moment we have strong laws, that's why
structure, laws and
strong
structure.
laws, strong judiciary, and strong policing. Until then, the complete system will not be fine.
Hmm.
Because if we move the money away, they follow the money.
Hmm.
They follow the money. So we just need to have strong system. Look at China. You don't joke with their system because they know there are law in place. In the moment you messed up with money, you are gone. You understand? So first thing first, we need to be humanly. We need to love ourselves because we don't love ourselves. We really do not love ourselves. We need to love ourselves. The leaders must love the citizens. The citizens must love the leaders. Leaders and followers have their roles. Everybody must play their role perfectly. It's not only the leader is the problem here. We followers are also the problem. Everybody must play their role perfectly. You understand? Then, as long as we have strong institutions rather than strong people, then we are on the way.
I want to quickly, ask something. You know, as a learned person, you've traveled to several countries around the world, and you met people from different parts of the world who know Nigerians,
Yeah,
who relate with Nigerians. I've
yeah.
come to your office. I've seen, and all that. Do you think Nigerians, Africans are accorded respect enough that they deserve where they are as
No,
other counterparts in the
no.
same field and in the same level?
The first place I felt welcome as a foreigner ever is in Kenya.
Hmm.
When I went to Kenya, and the mere fact that for my accent, they realized I was Nigerian,
Uh-huh.
they loved me immediately. And why did they love me? Not because we are nice, we are the nicest people. They only love me because of our music and movies. So that is the only system, that is the only industry that is working at the moment right now in Nigeria, to be honest. So that's the only reason why they love us. But other than that, when my experience in Dubai was nothing to write home about.
My God.
You know, the moment I arrived in Dubai, I was on a ticket with three other people, Turkish people, and the security guy singled me out
Hmm.
and wanted to carry a random check on my luggage. And the first question I asked him was, "Is it because I'm a Nigerian or black? We are on a group ticket of four people, and the only person you picked out is me myself." I'm like, then he said, "Okay, that's the way we do it." I said, "No, I understand I understand the fact that you have fear. Like, okay, this guy is Nigerian, he's coming, it could be criminal, it could be something, but it's fine. I just wanted to keep the picture clear. There are people who are non-Nigerian that are even worse. So you can go through this your routine check. You understand? But we, because of our systems, because of our doings in code, we have not that have made our respect diminish around the world.
But
You
do
understand?
you think that though we have people doing things that are not good as Nigerians and Africans, don't you think we also have so many thousands of Nigerians, thousands of Africans that are hard working everywhere, delivering excellence and quality service wherever they find themselves, delivering integrity, delivering excellence. Why don't people focus on that? Why don't Europeans focus on those Africans delivering excellence when they look at Nigerians and when they look at other Africans?
Quite a lot. We have a lot of Africans doing massively well everywhere in the world. I mean, the most educated foreigners in America are black people. You
And
understand?
mostly Nigerians.
Mostly Nigerians. We're doing great. But let's come to think about it. We have almost 120 million people, if not more.
In
And
Nigeria, no, we have 220
sorry,
million,
we
sir.
have almost 220 million people. You understand? I mean, I believe there's no country that would want to risk overlooking these numbers and trying to think everybody are just a good example. Everybody are good example of the few of the ones they have around them. You understand? Everybody, I mean, to be security wise, everybody wants to watch their back. You understand? But still, we need to keep our house in order.
Mhm.
The moment our house is not in order, we're gonna be always be screwed outside. There's an adage from where I come from. Uh, I don't know how to say it. Like people call you what you call yourself.
Mhm.
You understand? They call you what you call yourself. So when we call ourselves criminals, we call ourselves, but we are bad leaders, we are bad followers, we are stuff like this, and we don't improve on ourselves. We don't develop ourselves. When we go outside, they see us exactly like that.
So the thing is, see, I want to say this. I know that whether it's Nigerian police is always criticized. Whether it's the Nigerian road safety, people are always the Nigerian military. Everybody is always criticized. But I want to say this on a good note. I was in Nigeria a couple of weeks ago, and kudos to the Nigerian road safety guys. We were driving, and my wife, my I think it was my wife or my wife's sister-in-law that was driving, and we got to a point that we're supposed to turn. We did not know there was a turning there.
Mm.
There were these road safety guys, and they simply stopped us and said, "No, you don't have to. You can't turn here. Please drive forward and
Wow,
turn."
wow,
Now, as a Nigerian, I was like, "No, that's something new."
yes,
I was like, "That's something new." Do you
Mm.
understand?
Yeah.
And we were stopped also by the police office by a couple of police officers. They just looked at us and like, "Oh, you look like somebody." He said, "You know, are you this person?" I said, "No, I'm not." It's okay. Please drive on. Have a safe drive or whatever. I was like, That's different." Also, and I also saw the Nigerian army guy. It was raining heavily, and this guy was under the rain trying to control the traffic. I felt so bad. I do not know how much they paid them, but I know they are not paid well. So I
Yeah.
took out some money from my pocket just to appreciate what he was doing. And the guy was like, "No, I'm not supposed to take this. No." I'm like, "No, I'm not trying to bribe you or anything. I'm just trying to say thank you for your services." The
There are a lot of good guys working out there. Kudos to them. They are really doing massively well. I mean, they are doing amazingly well. There are some police officers that are amazing. I mean, I follow very that guy, and he has one FCID guy that's doing massively well. You understand? Um, some immigration guys are doing very good too. You understand? But there's always few bad ones, and that contaminates everything.
Why does the world focus on the few bad eggs in Nigeria and Africa? Because when you go to the embassies, once you're a
Mhm.
Nigerian, you are treated like a piece of crap, a
Yeah,
piece of shit. You're treated like nobody.
that's true.
Even the Nigerians or Africans working in those embassies treat you worse than the other people.
That's true.
When you get to the airport, my friend told me that he was traveling with his wife. I think they were somewhere in Switzerland,
Hmm.
the Switzerland or Spain, and they were the only black couple, the only blacks there. The others were from different parts of the world, and they were the only ones that were stopped.
Yeah.
And he said there was this other guy that was American that looked like he had smoked and was high on everything they could be high on.
Yeah,
They didn't
right.
stop him. So he asked the guy, why did you stop us? Because we're blacks? And the
Mm.
guy said, can I check your passports? The guy checked their passports and felt so bad because he knew that why he stopped them was a racial profiling.
Yeah. In the world, to be honest, racism is still on rampage, and there's no doubt about that. You understand? But our system is just a little bit adding gas to fire.
Yeah.
You understand? To be honest, that kind of scenario plays itself almost every time.
Mhm.
I was stopped in Zagreb with a Schengen visa, and you needed to see how much big of a lens they used in reading my visa
My God.
to try to check if the visa was actually not fake. You understand? I was the only one singled out by the custom to check if I was carrying a contraband. At the end of the day, he realized there was nothing, and he was asking if I was a football player. I'm like, sorry, excuse me. After going through this trauma with you, I'm not in the mood to be friends. You understand?
Mhm.
So, and again, it's good. Nigerians are built differently.
Mhm.
We know how to speak up for ourselves.
Yeah.
We only need the system to complement it by being
Yeah.
good for its own citizens, so the other people from the other side of the world will see us differently and will
Mhm.
respect us more. You
Mhm.
understand? So, as much as we are strong and could stand up for ourselves, we still need to speak out to government. We still need to speak out to the leadership. We still need to speak out to our own institution to always be there for us and be upright. Because at the moment they are upright, the world sees us as a different person.
That's
But
the
when
truth.
they are not upright,
That's the truth. So it takes a change system for the world to have a change perception of Nigerians. If
that's
our
it.
system works, if our government works, if our presidents, our legislators, our senators do a good job, the world will have a different perception of who we are as Nigerians.
Correct.
I
Correct.
hope I hope and pray that we get there one day, as Nigerians.
Come to think of it, I have something I'm working on as a comparative analysis.
Okay.
Would we do better balkanized, federalized, or as one?
You mean federal government
No. When we have true federalism, every region, Western
to
region,
themselves,
Eastern region,
regional government?
to themselves, and we just give a tip to the federal level, like we used to be immediately after independence,
Uh-huh.
or there's a referendum for everybody to go separately.
The thing is, I come from the part of Nigeria that is most marginalized. I come from
Yes,
the part of Nigeria that people believe it's almost a crime for us to sit at the helm of any top government system in Nigeria. I come from the eastern part, the part that has gone through wars, the part where people were starved to death and all of those things. Despite that, with my knowledge of colonization, with my knowledge of what Africans go through when countries are created in small parts, with my knowledge of that, I do not think in any way that breaking Nigeria is the solution. I honestly cannot tell myself that that's the solution. No, I honestly can't say that. I would rather prefer that Nigeria goes back to a through federal government where we have regional governments, rather, where we have regional governments. That's regional government system
hmm,
where everybody is responsible for what they develop, what they come up with, and have their own contribution to the central government. I think I would prefer that. I cannot say in all honesty that Nigeria is off will be better if there's a referendum and everybody goes on their way. I cannot honestly say that I advocate for that. I think I advocate for a true and honest, sincere regional government as a person.
okay. I think almost the same way like you. A referendum and going separate ways might be a little bit of a more problem than what we have now.
Yes.
Because, for example, we have people who have cross married. You understand? For example, somebody in Lagos who married somebody from Anambra, where will they go? If they decide to stay in Lagos, it's either those crossed will be deprived or be seen as a sabotage.
Mhm.
You understand? So that is completely out of the picture. And if we keep maintaining the system we have right now, it's it's obviously not working.
It's
You
not.
understand?
I don't think that the system we have now is ever going to work.
Yes, but and the third one is going back to true federalism, where every state control their resources and give a portion to the federal government. But what happens to the state that cannot produce that have limited resources, and what happens to now the governors of this state or this region now becoming the next superpower, the next demigod, and the next monster we have to deal with? You understand? So that's another problem.
They are already they are already monsters that we're dealing with. They're
Now
not
we
going to
giving
get
them
any
now
bigger.
we giving them more powers.
They're not going to get any bigger. It's not going to see. It's not going to get worse. Can it get worse for any? Can it really get worse in Nigeria?
Yeah, we say the same thing during Buhari. You remember?
No, like I keep saying to myself that I'm surprised that you of all people acknowledge that it's really bad. Me, I'm not. Even though I'm not someone who I never I did not campaign or article or say that I go with voting with Tinubu as president. I did say I do not know who Peter Obi is, but I do know what His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I do know who he is. I did believe that he might have the capacity to build up a team. But I did say that the only reason why I was rooting for Peter Obi was because for the first time in history of Nigeria, we have a candidate that there were young people from the northern parts, young people from the eastern part, largely young people from the western part, large people from the southern part that clamored around a particular candidate. That was truly going to be a source of hope that anything is possible. That someone, that's just, I just saw him as just hope first, to restore hope in a very destabilized country. That's all. But I still believe, I do not know the goals of His Excellency. I cannot say I can articulate his policies properly, but I do think he's the president now, and I do think that he has the capacity to build up a team that can shape Nigeria well. That's
Okay.
my honest opinion.
That I understand. I understand your part. You know, when we discuss about politics, I always understand your part. But that does not stop me from having my part. You understand?
Of course.
And during the campaign period, I said we have four political parties: PDP, APC, the New Labour Party, and others.
Mhm.
And like I said earlier, the only person among these three major candidates that I think was the best candidate was still the candidate of APC. That's the Tinubu guy. I still haven't changed that he's still the best candidate. Okay? That's still my point. But things have gotten worse.
Hmm.
Why? Why? There's world crisis, obviously. Compare Turkish lira to dollars, and now even Turkish inflation is even worse than Nigeria's inflation.
Mhm.
You understand? But there are different activities in government that you wonder if these people are really understanding the economic indices. You understand? We understand there's food scarce. We are a large population, 220 million people. You need to work hard in agriculture for the people to actually eat. One of the biggest problems in managing people is the moment it has gotten to hunger,
Mhm.
that's a system breakdown.
Mhm.
The moment people are starving, then there's a serious problem. People are starving in your country, and because of the Iranian air crash, you want to change your own air fleet, then something must be wrong.
Mhm.
You spend 90 billion naira to subsidize Hajj fee.
I do not know that you will have issue with that as well.
as a Muslim, Hajj is not compulsory. Hajj is not obligatory. It's optional. There's an option for you to go to Hajj, and the option is if you are strong and if you have the money. So government, even the Quran does not tell government to
The
give you the
government
money.
has no role in
No role.
subsidizing whether it is Christian pilgrimage, Islamic pilgrimage, or traditional pilgrimage of anybody going to do Ofala New Yam Festival in Anambra State.
Imagine how much hospital that money would have built. Imagine how many schools that money would have built. But at the end of the day, people went for just vacation in Saudi Arabia, coming back, and 90 billion naira is gone. And don't be surprised if half of that subsidy money was embezzled.
Come on, and let's get away from politics of Nigeria, because we do have people who are not Nigerians that listen to us. But I
Okay.
want to quickly focus on something that is more general. I spoke about trust before. Now I'm going to
Mm.
go to people. You've heard people always say, trust nobody, trust nobody, trust nobody. But I have always acknowledged the fact nothing great is accomplished alone.
Mm.
It doesn't, nothing great can be accomplished alone. There's no individual that will say, I came up with this idea and I single handedly made it great. I want to find out from you, how important is it to surround yourself with the right people as an
Uh,
individual?
if you want to succeed, you need to know your team. You need to know the circle you keep yourself around. If you don't keep yourself around the best circle, then you're as good as your team. That's just the basic
Mhm,
logic.
mhm,
You're as good as your team. The moment there's a problem in your team, then it's almost impossible for you to succeed.
mhm.
Um, like I mean, I don't want to go back to politics. So you just need to move with the right people to have the best opportunity. If you
Mhm,
don't work with the right people, then the opportunity is very scarce because you have to be working alone. Do you understand?
mhm,
So, and working alone it's a lot of work.
mhm.
So that's it.
Okay. Let me quickly. I can hear your son calling you up. He's up from sleep. So let me quickly take one more last question so that you can go back to being a responsible, amazing husband and father. Uh, when we work with people, one of the things that happen is that we meet people who break our trust, people who break our confidence, people who break our loyalty, and all of those things. How do you think is best to handle a team member who's broken loyalty, who's broken ranks, and who's broken trust?
And the most important thing about organization is how to analyze people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The moment you analyze somebody and you think and you see traces of compromise in a particular person, one should limit the level of information that person gets first. You understand? As long as that person does not get enough information about you, then there's no tool for compromise. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
because when people have something against you, that's when they can use it against you. Do you
Okay.
understand? But the most important thing is a team that does not have a coordinated spine is bound to disintegrate. Do you understand it?
Mm-hmm.
So you must make sure to watch your team, analyze your team, know which of them could be compromised. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because a team is as good as the weakest point.
Yeah.
You understand? So know which of them could compromise. Then as the moment you know the one that could compromise, limit information. You understand? When information is close to that link, then the other loop works perfectly.
That's I totally agree with you on that. I want to say, like I said, I just want to round up quickly. If you were to say, what is your source of happiness? What makes you happy as a person? What is it that keeps you afloat? Because people have ups and downs in their life. People have times of failures, massive failures, and things go south. When things go south, what is it that keeps you going? I want to say that as your final, word to our guest, or to our topic.
I go back to my first answer for the first question, which is responsibility. You understand? Even as much south you keep going, the moment you remember there's a responsibility, it energize, it gives you the gas. You
Mhm,
understand? You have some responsibility to keep, and it gives you the gas to want to propel. You understand? So it keeps you, come on, even if you are falling, stand up again. You understand? It's good, it's normal to fall, but not standing up is the absurd thing.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to stand up again. So that's it.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much for being my guest today. It's wonderful having you, Oyewale Lawal, PhD. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone has learned something from the conversation today. Thank you for being part of the conversation. I'll see you on Saturday again with another wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Oyewale Lawal. Pleasure to have you in the conversation.
Nice to have you too.
Bye,
Have a
sir.
nice day.
And you too, please.